everyone, I'm here with Elena, and she works here at Grant Thornton in Shanghai, though I hear she's only here a few days of the entire year. Tell me what you do.
Okay, so I do forensic advisory. It's a very specialized area of accounting, and what we do is we pretty much discover fraud and we uncover it. We help companies to overcome it, and also we do a little bit of things on anti-money laundering as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. And tell me about your study experiences in Australia. Where did you do your studies?
Okay, so I did my studies in ANU, Australian National University, did a major in corporate finance and a minored in accounting. Never thought I'll end up doing forensics.
So you didn't think this was not your goal from the start?
No. I was thinking of investment banking, mergers, acquisitions, where all the big money lies. And then somehow ended up in forensic advisory. But I found that this is actually what I really love doing. And probably more than investment banking.
Fantastic, that's amazing. And so after you finished studying at ANU, what did you move into after that? Did you come straight to Shanghai to get a job? Did you get a job in Australia?
I actually started working in Australia first. So I worked under the superannuation insurance claims for about a year and a half. And I just kind of found wasn't really what I was after. All of my friends, they were in Asia, they were having a very busy life, especially their working life. It's very different from Australia, where it's a lot more relaxed. So I decided to come to China, and I started off my career in China in Deloitte. And that's where I ended up in forensic advisory, and kind of just moved on from there.
Fantastic. And what's the best thing about your job?
It's very interesting. We see different things every day. We find that people have different ways of committing fraud every day. And you never know what cases you'll get your hands on, because not only do we do a lot of different cases that have different fraudulent activities going on, we also help different industries. So maybe one day I'll be doing a buildings material industry, and then next week I'll be onto another project in food colorants or in
food colorants. Wow, food additives. That's crazy.
So everything's different. Every day you're getting new surprises.
And so did you complete your CPA program, your CPA Australia program, while you were in Australia, or here while you were in Shanghai?
In Shanghai. So I started off in Deloitte. Just thought it was something good to add on to my career. And started off taking one exam, and at first I was like, oh my god, I can't do this, with
because you'd only done a minor in accounting before, right?
Yes. And I thought, I've got all these work going on with Deloitte China. There's in our industry, there's always the long hours, and you've got studies on top of that. So I was like, no, I can't do it. Ended up taking my first exam. I was like, great, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I can understand it. The book is very easy to understand. So I ended up finishing my whole program in about a year and a half.
Fantastic. Congratulations on getting your CPA. I know it's definitely a challenging program. What's the most challenging part of your role?
I guess it's finding out what people do, because I've never thought of the ways a lot of people have been doing these things. So it's always very interesting to finally uncover what's been going on, but the process can be sometimes quite painful, because you not only have to look at the accounting side of things, you also have to think, why are people doing it this way? What the people are thinking and what are their potential next steps. So it's kind of like putting puzzle pieces together, and you never know where you end up going.
I guess from an audit perspective, when we talk to students, we talk about the fraud triangle in terms of opportunities, incentives and pressures, and attitudes and rationalization. So it sounds like it's a lot of psychology.
Yes.
How predicting what people are going to do, along with the evidence that you can find.
True.
So for students who are studying and thinking, hey, I'd love a career in accounting, and maybe even building that accounting career here in China, what would be your advice to them?
I would say do a few internships during your university. I personally did 3 internships, all in different areas. So I did one in Deloitte, I did one with a legal firm in Australia, and another one with a broadcasting studio in New York.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a very different.
That's an amazing set of internships for an undergraduate student. Wow.
Yeah. I really thought those helped me a lot in terms of building my career, building my confidence. As an example, without all of these law knowledge that I had from my internship, probably my job wouldn't have run as smoothly as it did when I first started in forensics. And again, I do a lot of business development activities currently. So that confidence that I have when I talk to people, that a lot of it was built up when I did my broadcasting internship.
Oh, really interesting. And how important in the Chinese market is speaking English and developing English language skills? Is business done a lot in English, mostly in Mandarin?
Actually, to me, all of my reports are in English. And actually for our company, the majority of our reports are in English. So we may get maybe 1 or 2 projects that are in Chinese over the whole year. I still think China, it's very international, especially Shanghai. And having that English knowledge will aid me, because I don't only work here in Shanghai. When there's projects overseas as well, I have to fly out to assist them on that. And a lot of our clients, even though I might be working with a target based in China, the company that hired us is either based in US or Europe or Australia. So you need to have that English background to be able to communicate to people smoothly.
And so how was it, and obviously you had been in Australia since you were quite young, how was it moving to China? How was your Chinese in comparison to everyone else's? Was that a learning curve?
Definitely. I couldn't write one word. I could read and I can type, but not handwrite. And a lot of times when I'm doing interviews, I have to write my notes in English. So people are speaking to me in Chinese and I have to translate on the spot and take all my notes in English. So I found that it wasn't challenging, but it did it did have some difficulties. Right now I can kind of semi-write in Chinese and semi in English. So it's helping me a lot in terms of taking notes and just communicating to people more smoothly.
I want to thank Elena for taking the time out. I hear that last year she only spent 10 days of the year in Shanghai, so we managed to catch her on a really great day. You can't see, but Joanna from CPA Australia is here, and she's also facilitated this interview. I contacted somebody, Kim Huang, who's a great friend of mine at the CPA Australia office in Sydney. I said, Kim, I'm coming to Shanghai. I'd love to talk to a CPA who's based here to find out more about their work. She put me in touch with Joanna. Joanna did the searching and the legwork for us. So I want to thank everyone. If you have any questions for Elena about what she does or other questions, pop them in the comments and I'll send them on to her and I'll collate the responses. But thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'll chat to you next time.
Okay, great. Thank you.